All right, so today we're going to talk about a final year college project. I know, but stick with me because this is not your average project. This thing is a fully functional tool, built to tackle a huge national crisis. We're going to break down this India AQI predictor and really see what it tells us about how students today are solving problems that affect all of us.
Okay, first things first. To really get why this project is so cool, you have to understand the problem it's trying to solve. And I mean really understand the scale of it. This isn't just some classroom thought experiment. We're talking about a real, urgent crisis that impacts millions of lives.
Yeah, I mean, look at this quote. It really doesn't pull any punches, right? One of India's most pressing environmental challenges. That one line just sets the whole stage. This is a massive daily problem for so many people. The stakes here are incredibly high.
So you hear that and you think, wow, where do you even start? It just seems so massive, right? Almost overwhelming. But what if the first step wasn't some huge billion-dollar government program? What if it started with a line of code, a really smart algorithm? And that's exactly where this whole story gets really interesting.
So let's talk about the solution. And who do you think built it? Not some giant tech company, not a fancy government lab. Nope. This whole thing, this complete web application, was built by students. Just think about that for a second.
Okay, so here it is, the India AQI prediction system. At its core, it's a tool that uses machine learning to basically predict the future. And yeah, I know that sounds dramatic, but it's true. It forecasts what the air quality is going to be like. And that's a huge deal, right? It means you can be proactive, not just reactive, and that changes everything. And just look at what this thing can do. It's not some basic program. We're talking real-time prediction of PM2.5. You know, those nasty little particles that are so bad for you. It's got smart AQI classification, cool interactive charts, a whole health dashboard, and it all looks professional and works on your phone. This is the whole shebang, what we call a full-stack app. It does everything from the complex data crunching behind the scenes to making it look good and easy to use for you.
And then you see this number. Now, look, the price itself isn't really the point. What's truly mind-blowing is what it means. It means that technology this powerful, this sophisticated, isn't locked away in some corporate vault anymore. It's accessible. It's out there for students, for hobbyists, for anyone with an idea. That's a huge shift.
Okay, so how does this magic actually happen? Let's pop the hood and see what's powering this prediction engine.
The secret sauce here is machine learning. It sounds super complicated, but the idea is actually pretty intuitive. Think about how you teach a little kid what a cat is. You wouldn't give them a textbook definition, right? You just show them picture after picture of cats. After a while, their brain just gets it. It learns the pattern. Well, that's exactly what machine learning does with data. You feed this model tons and tons of old air quality data, and it literally teaches itself how to spot the patterns and predict what's coming next.
So for you, the user, it's dead simple. You just punch in a few numbers, the levels of certain pollutants, where you are, and that's it. The model does all the hard work in a split second, crunching those numbers against everything it's learned. And what you get back is a super clear prediction, and more importantly, a simple color-coded warning telling you what it means for your health.
And here's what that looks like. It's not just some random number that you don't know what to do with. The system translates all that complex data into these 6 simple categories. Green is good, red is bad. It's that easy. And that's what makes it so useful, right? You can glance at it and immediately know, okay, maybe not the best day for a run.
So the specific type of machine learning it uses is called a random forest, which is just a great name. And the concept is brilliant. Instead of just one expert trying to make a prediction, imagine you have a room full of hundreds of them. Each one, each tree, looks at the data and makes its own call. Then the system basically takes a vote. It combines all those different opinions to come up with one final prediction that's way more accurate than any single one could be on its own. It's like wisdom of the crowd, but for data.
Okay, so we've got a huge problem, and we've got some seriously clever technology. But what does that actually mean in the real world? How does something like this go from being a cool student project to something that actually makes a difference?
Just think about it. What if you hook this system up to all those little sensors cities are installing everywhere now? You could have a live, updating map of air quality right down to the city block. You could even have traffic lights that automatically change to divert cars away from areas where pollution is spiking. Suddenly, it's not just an app, it's the brain of a smart city.
And what about for hospitals? This is a total game changer. Imagine getting an alert that says, hey, there's a 90% chance of a severe pollution event tomorrow. You could bring in extra staff who specialize in breathing problems, make sure you have enough beds ready. You're turning a chaotic emergency into something you can actually manage.
And of course, there's the most obvious use, putting this power directly into our hands. This engine could be what's behind the weather app on your phone. It gives everyday people like you and me the info we need to decide, should I take the kids to the park today, or maybe I should wear a mask on my commute? It's about empowering people. And it just keeps going. The potential is huge. You can see here, this data could help governments write better environmental laws because they can see what's actually working. You could use it to make sure factories aren't cheating on their emissions. It could even help tourists figure out the healthiest time to visit a city. The list goes on and on.
All right, let's take a step back for the final part. Because this isn't just about one cool project. What does it say about education itself, and what students are capable of now? I think we're seeing a really fundamental shift.
This table says it all, really. Think back to what a student project used to be. Maybe some clunky program that ran in a black and white text window. It showed you understood the theory, and that was it. Now look at the project we're talking about. It tackles a massive real-world problem. It's a full-blown web application. Why the change? Well, students today have access to tools that were once crazy expensive or complex. Huge data sets, powerful software, cloud computing. The bar has been raised, and the ambition is just through the roof.
Honestly, this is the new resume. Forget a piece of paper with a list of classes. A project like this is proof. It shows you don't just know theory, you can actually build something. It shows you have skills in data science, in coding, in making something that people can actually use. It proves you can deliver.
So yeah, a student project, taking on a national crisis with some seriously advanced tech. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. And it really leaves you with one big, inspiring question. If this is what students are building today, what massive global challenge are they going to solve for us tomorrow?